The preceding has been a paid commercial program.
You've been a team as long as we have.
You'll learn a lot about each other.
Jack Williams and Liz Walker work together. They deliver the news the way you like it.
To get the whole story, you have to know the people that the story will affect. Our team knows New England.
At WBZ News 4, what you see on the air is the real thing.
Our team is different because we're serious when we have to be, but we're not afraid to be ourselves.
You can't rehearse that.
It's nice to know there's a team you can count on. WBZ News 4, the tradition continues.
The cost of health care in this country is going up every day, and there's nothing we can do about it, right? Wrong. You can help by supporting the Combined Health Appeal where you work. The health agencies in the Combined Health Appeal are working to eliminate the causes of health problems. Your contributions to the Combined Health Appeal can make a difference in the search for ways to cure and prevent these health problems every day. So you can make a difference. If there is not a Combined Health Appeal where you work, call 1-800-242-2911 for more information.
The world's most unusual acts. Hold your breath as a daredevil attempts Houdini's most dangerous stunt on the next Maury.
Tomorrow at 5 on TV4.
Exclusive, meet the 1995 Playboy Playmate of the Year. And we've got the wedding bell news of the network Nuptials, only on ET.
Tomorrow at 7:30 on TV4.
Liz Walker and Jack Williams, only on WBZ News 4. You're watching WBZ TV Boston. Next on WBZ News 4.
This is the drug LSD. South Shore police are furious tonight because the man they caught dealing it is free.
Tragedy strikes at a school bus stop tonight, a lesson in safety.
And Garden Mystique versus Orlando Magic. A fierce battle goes down to the final seconds.
Now, Jack Williams, Liz Walker, Bruce Schwegler, Bob Lobel, Joyce Kulhawick. Now, live, this is WBZ News 4.
Good evening. Here's what's happening tonight. A South Shore drug dealer is a free man tonight after only 10 days in prison.
Joseph Gleba could have spent up to 5 years in prison, but instead cut a deal with prosecutors. Hanover's acting police chief tonight calls that deal incompetent. Tonight, Paul Hayes told me Gleba was arrested after selling LSD to undercover police.
We subsequently bought 50 hits the first time from this individual. Second time, 100 hits. Third time, 200 hits. And the fourth time, a quarter pound of marijuana and another 25 hits.
Acting Hanover Police Chief Paul Hayes is referring to blotter LSD, what he calls one of the top drugs of choice among South Shore teens.
So each one of these hits actually would sell in the school for probably anywhere from $2 to $5.
Alleged drug dealing at 3 schools, including the South Shore Vocational Technical High, was the target of this 4-month investigation. Hayes says if convicted, the suspect caught pushing this stuff, 19-year-old Joseph Gleba, could have served up to 5 years in prison.
I believe what went wrong with this case is that the district court system is bogged down with too many cases and not enough district attorneys to become involved with the cases. In this particular case, the DA for the district court called in sick. The girl that was handling the jury trials at that point had a cover for her as well. I believe probably the good defense attorney figured that he would try and see if he could get a plea.
And Gleba's attorney, Richard Linehan, did just that. Tonight he told me his client had no prior drug record.
Mr. Gleba has a 3-month jail sentence suspended over his head, and he's on probation for 2 years.
No one from the district attorney's office was available for comment tonight.
A 10-year-old girl playing in a Boston park was shot 3 times tonight. Her attackers remain on the loose at this hour. It happened here in this park on Tremont Street just before 5 o'clock. Witnesses say the girl was playing with relatives when 2 or 3 young men suddenly opened fire from the other end of the park. She was struck under one of her arms and in both legs. She is hospitalized in stable condition.
And witnesses observed 3 light-skinned black males up at the top of the wall and one firing down into the playground, shooting at another male. The little girl, 10-year-old girl, was struck by the stray bullets.
Police are asking for your help in this case. If you have any information, why don't you call 343-4270. A 9-year-old boy running to catch his school bus in Millbury was hit by a huge truck this morning. The truck driver faces several charges, including driving to endanger. This is Samuel LeBanc, here on the far right, a third grader who tonight is in critical condition. WBZ's Bill Shields explains that this morning's accident raises a caution flag about bus stop safety.
The skid marks tell only part of the story. The rest is told by flashing yellow and red lights.
It appears at this time, just based on preliminary investigation, the yellow lights were activated. He was just about to activate the red lights, which do when the door opened.
It's standard procedure. As the bus driver approaches the pickup point, the yellow lights go on. Then, when the bus comes to a stop, the red light and a stop sign. The order for traffic in both directions to come to a halt.
It's a safety device that I think everyone, there's no question at all when you're behind the bus whether you should stop or not when that arm comes out.
It's hard to believe that someone wouldn't notice all of these flashing lights or this stop sign that's sticking out from the side of the bus. But to the drivers, what's even more unbelievable is that there are people out there who try to beat this stop sign and these lights.
What people do tend to do is when they see the yellow flashes, they do try to get by the bus because they know the reds are coming on next and they're going to have to stop.
The driver of the rig that hit Sam LeBlanc was charged with driving to endanger. And a little boy who was running for his school bus is now fighting for his life. In Millbury, I'm Bill Shields, WBZ News 4.
Every school bus in our state is now equipped with a driver's side stop sign.
An explosive traffic stop in Norwood. James Boran was pulled over by police Saturday, but he took off in his van and fled to his apartment. Boran surrendered after a standoff with police. Inside his home, police found a bomb-making manual, 40 pounds of fertilizer, a fuse, 1,000 rounds of ammunition, and an unregistered handgun. He is charged with illegal possession of a firearm. Boran was questioned in 1989 for sending a threatening letter to President Bush. And look at this cache of dynamite found in a Saugus Middle School. 13 quarter sticks. The dynamite was found on 2 students and in the lockers of 4 others. Another 33 quarter sticks were found in one of the boys' homes. They're all just 12 and 13 years old. They were caught after 2 of the boys had bragged about the explosives. All 6 are suspended from school and 5 face criminal charges.
A chopper down in Hamilton tonight. The crash happened at 9:30 just off Route 1A. The pilot was traveling alone. He survived. He's being treated now at Beverly Hospital. The search for the missing in the Oklahoma City bombing probably will end this week, even though some 28 people still have not been found. It has been 2 weeks since the bombing. There are no new major breaks, but authorities seem to be building a case against another player. Agents have found traces of kerosene and paint chips around a lake near Junction City, Kansas. That's where it's believed the bomb was built. Agents will return to the home of material witness Terry Nichols to see if the paint chips match his truck. One lead fell through when a man who bore a resemblance to the sketch of John Doe number 2 was released.
It was terrifying.
Why?
Well, you never know. I mean, you could be railroaded or something.
This reminder, as events in Oklahoma City unfold, stay with WBZ for continuing coverage. We will keep you up to date.
Big game number 3, Celts and the Magic at the Garden, and this one was a thriller, Bob.
You would have liked a ticket to this game, if you'd like a ticket to any game, as a matter of fact. I'll tell you, the crowd was in it like they hadn't been in it for years. The Celts made it exciting right down to the wire, but when it was over, the night belonged to Orlando. The Celts trailed by 10 early in the second half, but came all the way back to take the lead on Raj's jumper late in the 4th. And that Garden was rocking, believe me, like it hasn't rocked in years. Over the game tied at 77, Shaq came through with a big bucket. From the corner of the miss, and look at the Shaq, boom, powering down the lane. And that gave Orlando the lead for good. 28 seconds were left, 82-77 the final. Orlando needs just one more win to advance, and they'll play again Friday night at the Boston Garden. But wow, that was something.
It was exciting, but okay. Thanks,
Okay.
Bill.
Oh, no doubt about it, the pressure was on the Magic tonight. Hang in there, Liz. Let's join hands and sing. Celtic fans kept the pressure on all night long. WBZ's Dan Ray was with those fans during the most exciting game of the season.
Celtic fans served notice early. This was one playoff game they wanted. This may have been a sub-500 season, but at game time, the Celtics knew they had the Magic exactly where they wanted him. Even up in the series, at home in the Boston Garden, before all of these Celtics fans. But it was quiet 2 hours before game time as the Magic's big gun, Shaquille O'Neal, worked in his trouble foul shooting. During the game, the Shaq's problems at the line continued, with plenty of encouragement from those pesky Celtic fans. Even Magic coach Brian Hill acknowledged the important role of a home crowd in a tight playoff game.
They'll certainly be a factor in the game, and their team will play with a lot more energy feeding off the fans. But if you're a good team, you have to do it with whether you're on the road or whether you're at home, and that's why we're just going to have to be more aggressive.
Although the Magic won this game on this playoff night, neither the Celtics nor their fans lost their Celtic pride. The Boston Garden, Dan Ray, WBZ News 4.
Dan was there. I give him all the credit in the world.
Thanks a lot.
All right.
There's much more ahead on News 4, and here are some of the stories you'll see. Find out how to recognize hidden fire hazards in your home. Knowing what to look for could save a life. And tomorrow at 11, 50 years after victory in Europe, never forget. You may know this former Boston School Committee member, but you may not know the role he played in World War II. That's tomorrow at 11.
New England, it's America's hometown. The home of Yankee pride, old world charm, and American tradition. WBZ News 4 is celebrating New England. During the month, Jack Williams and Liz Walker will broadcast live from hometowns across New England. Tune in tomorrow at 6 to WBZ News 4 and celebrate New England.
Through WBZ's Stop the Violence campaign, Big Sister and Big Brother have received many calls and made new matches. Thanks to you, the response has been great. But the need still exists.
I'm Ricardo Bernard, and I'm here to tell you that I'm a big brother. And across the state, 1,000 kids are waiting for big brothers or big sisters. So do your part, become a big brother, and help keep these kids off the street.
Stop the violence. Become a big sister or big brother. Call 617-236-8060.
They say it's a small world, but to a child without a loving home, it doesn't seem so small. Don't leave a child out in the cold. Become his foster or adoptive parent and help him feel at home in the world. For more information, call Boston Children's Services at 267-3700.
You may not realize it, but your home could be a fire trap.
A dead battery in your smoke detector, a faulty electrical socket, an overloaded extension cord. Any one of these could spell danger or even disaster. Tonight, WBZ's Joe Shortsley with some tips that could prevent your home from becoming a house on fire.
Here, it was a child playing with a cigarette lighter. Here, an old couch was too close to a heating grate. And in Situate, it was faulty wiring that sparked a blaze that killed 3 children. All of those fires could have been prevented.
Okay, Joe, what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at this inside this house and see...
Norwell Fire Captain Andy Reardon says many people don't realize how many fire hazards are in our home.
It looks like this family keeps their daily newspaper tucked up out of the way, out of the sight. But we have combustible material stored on top of the microwave oven.
So if we had a cooking fire right here and we had the papers there, not a good plan.
No, absolutely not.
Something as simple as papers or ashes from a cigarette can spark a fire like this. And it doesn't take long for the fire to spread. You only have 2 to 4 minutes to get out. Blocked exits can be fatal.
As we're crawling along, we're going to run into this rocking chair.
How far away should this be?
This rocking chair should be back. Let's move it back towards you.
And completely out of the way.
Completely out of the way. And this door should be able to swing all the way open. What we're going to look for down here is any combustible material that's stored around the furnace. Apparently this family recycles. But by storing the newspapers and other combustible materials around this old oil burner, we just run the risk of having a fire occur late at night.
Other hazards? Overloaded or frayed extension cords. Just ask Gail Staines.
And what had happened is I had pushed my dresser up against the wall, and it crimped the extension cord. The cord was frayed and ignited, and apparently one of my son's books had dropped down behind the furniture, and that ignited the book, which ignited my dresser, which ignited the walls, which spread to the curtains and went throughout the whole room.
And though it's been said time and time again, you have to have a working smoke detector. Joe Shortsleeve, WBZ News 4.
WBZ and the State Fire Marshal's Office have put together a booklet. It's filled with fire safety tips.
If you want more information on how to prevent a fire, send a self-addressed stamped envelope to 1010 Commonwealth Avenue. That's in Boston, 02215.
Just a little ounce of prevention.
Worth a pound of cure.
All right, let's find out the latest on the weather, and here's Bruce.
Beauty today, even nicer tomorrow. This is the way it was this afternoon, however. Chilly 50 in Hull, in the 60s in the western suburbs. A bigger spread coming up tomorrow, and a warmer one at that. Details shortly.
Also, you saw A League of Their Own. Now meet the real thing. Stay tuned.
And join WBZ News 4 tomorrow morning from 5 to 7 a.m. And don't forget to turn your dial to WBZ News Radio 1030 before you go to bed tonight.
Para la violencia.
Para la violencia.
Help me go home. Stop the violence.
Doesn't matter what the language is, the message is all the same.
It's time to stop the violence and create change.
Join WBZ's Stop the Violence campaign for Increase the Peace Week.
That's May 14th through the 20th.
We've been asking you to roll up your sleeves and
get involved as we try to solve this problem.
And during this week, there'll be lots of activity, from a kickoff party at Downtown Crossing to the 3rd Annual Youth Peace Conference.
So, get involved.
Call 617-534-5199 for a list of events.
It's always time to stop the violence.
When it's busy up there, it's busy down here. You can count on WBZ's Storm Center all year long, only on WBZ News 4.
Healthy, shiny hair like this only happens in the movies? Nah, it can happen every day with Pantene Pro V. Because Pantene gets right to the root, where healthy hair begins. My hair wasn't always so glamorous, but Pantene's Pro Vitamin formula penetrates from the top of the root to the tip, improving every strand. Hair this good deserves a close-up.
Pantene Pro V shampoo and conditioner for hair so healthy it shines.
Pro Vitamins. I know they're in there.
Bruce Schwegler and New England weather. WBZ News 4 continues.
Good evening, everybody. We've got a super day coming up Thursday, although tree pollen counts are on the rise with the warmth. Along the coast, there should be a chilly sea breeze developing at midday. If not, we're going to steam up even here in the city. A few clouds around right now. Temperatures are in the 50s. They're falling slowly. We still have a few of those clouds to dissipate before the temperatures drop off more. It is in the 40s and 50s across the entire region. And this is the way it was at 4 p.m. from our Museum of Science WBZ School WeatherNet at the Memorial Intermediate School in Hull. It was only 50 degrees, illustrating the fact that this wind off the water really chills off the coast, whereas as you move westward to the South Intermediate School out in Waltham and the Kennedy Middle School in Natick, you're looking at much warmer temperatures. So there's the cold along the coast and the much warmer air inland. And tomorrow, these are going to be in the 70s, and these will be in the upper 50s. As we check out Skywatch 4, going around the country to take a look at some storminess coming up through the Mississippi. It was hot and humid as we dive down through Florida from Miami. Fort Myers 92, 90 or so in much of Florida. On through the Carolinas and Virginias, 70s then 60s there, and the 60s to near 70 across New England with all that sunshine. And we're looking through the back end of the clouds that left this morning and brought us a good deal of sun. Now we see more approaching from the west as just a few thin clouds dissipate here. Big high pressure area in the eastern Great Lakes. It's mild up and down here except for that onshore flow. And it's mild up and down here. Onshore flows on Lake Michigan, as a matter of fact, a little cool in Chicago, Meigs Field. And here is warmer air coming up through the Mississippi River Valley, and some of that's going to try to pump in our direction. As it does so, it's going to cause rain on Friday. Tonight we've got the clear, the cool weather with a light wind out of the west. Temperatures 40s, some 30s in the suburbs. And for tomorrow, bright sunshine. Nice one with a light wind, so the temperatures pump up until midday, and then they fall back as the wind shifts in off the ocean waters. Late in the day, there'll be some clouds approaching from the west. Your high temperatures tomorrow along the coast will be in the upper 50s during the afternoon because of that chilling, as opposed to the lower 70s to around 70 through many of our western suburban locales. The inbound commute is going to warm up rapidly. Temperatures in the mid-40s just after sunrise for the inbounders, and the temperatures in the suburbs really not much difference at all. The great flying weather as well. There it is. Enjoy Thursday. You won't enjoy Friday, unless you got the fertilizer down, the grass seed down, ready to roll. Ooh, mine's greener than yours. And coming up for Saturday, partly sunny skies, windy, it'll be unstable, so there'll be afternoon fair weather clouds popping off. Chance of a shower here, many showers in the mountains. And still a little bit cool and unstable on Sunday, but more sunshine.
All right. Optimism abounds.
Yes, you got to be Norman Vincent Peale here.
All right, friends. Thank you.
Those of you who just watched the CBS movie know that women had a baseball league of their own in the 50s. Well, one of the stars of that league and featured in the movie, Marie Mansfield, a local woman who played for the Rockford, Illinois Peaches. Today, the real Marie Mansfield Kelly was honored on the UMass campus in Boston. Her critique of the movie, pretty accurate. That was a great movie.
It was.
But in real life...
Twice, actually.
You did?
Yes.
I told Jack it was kind of a sensitive movie. I didn't know, but you liked it.
Well, fits right in, doesn't it? Everything you know about me. You know, there was a 2.5-week-old baby at that garden tonight. Somebody brought, yeah.
Yours?
No, mine stayed home and watched this movie. She's much too old for him anyway.
Okay. A lot of sports happening tonight. We have a lot of teams in action from Boston. Then coming up later, Meg Ryan lights up the screen again. And Joyce is coming up with that.
Through WBZ's Stop the Violence campaign, Big Sister and Big Brother have received many calls and made new matches. Thanks to you, the response has been great. But the need still exists.
I'm Ricardo Bernard, and I'm here to tell you that I'm a big brother. And across the state, 1,000 kids are waiting for big brothers or big sisters. So do your part, become a big brother, and help keep these kids off the street.
Stop the violence. Become a big sister or big brother. Call 617-236-8060.
They're exotic dancers.
Guys are thrilled to come look at us.
And they're clashing over style.
They're simulating, they don't simulate, they do.
You're lying.
Because a few think their competitors are too exotic.
Her G-strings are smaller than a Band-Aid.
Is it professional jealousy?
Look, do I mean, they're thrilled. They look at this and look at that.
Or have some of them gone too far? Watch Jenny Jones.
Tomorrow at 9 on TV4.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Jeremy. Happy birthday to you.
Make a wish, Jeremy.
WBZ's Paula Lyons has been a consumer reporter for more than 16 years.
She knows what she's talking about. When she's uncovering a scam or investigating a bad product, Paula knows who to call and where to go to get to the bottom of a story. And nobody's more thorough. That's probably why consumers trust her so much. On the job
Bread?
and off. Paula Lyons News 4 Consumers. Only on WBZ News 4. The tradition continues.
Bob Lobel and New England Sports. WBZ News 4 continues.
Boy, for a short time tonight, it was just all back in one place. What a terrific game at the Garden. It's been years since that old building rocked with that kind of electricity. You know something? It just might be the last time. Unfortunately, the Celtics were on the losing end of that 82-77 score tonight. Magic came out firing, 7-0 lead right off the bat. Check this out. D. Brown now with a dish to Derek Strong for a terrific baseline reverse, and Chris Ford and the fans there loved it. Celtics up 24-19 after one. Strong can't get this one to fall, and eventually Hardaway will come up with a loose ball, finding Nick Anderson all alone. Easy peasy. Anderson led Orlando with 24. Dominique Wilkins couldn't miss in the first half. Unfortunately, he couldn't hit in the second half, but he had 5 threes in the first, and the Celtics were down 4 at the half, 45-41. Orlando opens up a 10-point lead early in the third. Purvis Ellison tries to save it, but the Magic end up with it, and they go down the other end by 10. But the Celtics didn't quit, thank you.
D, the bounce pass. Purvis Ellison. Bounce pass. D for 3. Got it. X wants it. Got it. Neek doubles. Dino. Yes.
That crowd was unbelievable, and the Garden was ready to explode. That gave the Celtics a 3-point lead, but Nick Anderson, swish, ties the game, 77-77. 28 seconds to go. A rebound, Shaquille O'Neal, and that gave them the lead for good. Celtics lose 82-77.
With a minute and something go on, I feel confident we was going to win that game. The big play was when Nick hit that 3. That was a real big play. Then Shaq got the easy dunk. But rather than that, I think that, I give my hat off to our guys. We play well, we respond, and hopefully we're going to have that same effort on Friday, and I think we got a good chance of winning the game.
They stayed in there with us, They were great. Too bad we couldn't come away with this game. We had it. We had it.
Nick Anderson, 24 points, Nick at night. And the Orlando Magic lead that series 2-1. Game number 4 on Friday. Sox in extra innings at Yankee Stadium right now, tied 3-all. We had one team lose, we had one team win, we had one team now tied. Third inning, man aboard. Valentin, the second home run in as many games. He sends that Jack McDowell pitch way over the left field wall. 2-0 Red Sox lead. And they're standing and cheering at Seton Hall. The Yanks tied up. The Boston retakes the lead in the 5th. Back-to-back doubles down the right field line by Nearing and Tinsley. And look, Alisea, what a play by Mattingly, robbing Alisea. The Sox had a 3-2 lead in the 5th, and McDowell gets Valentin swinging for his 5th strikeout of the game. The Yankees tied in the 6th. Mattingly, swish double. It scores Tardable all the way from first. A gapper. Big play for the Sox, bottom of the 10th. Bases loaded, 1 out, Ken Ryan. Tardable bounces to the mound. Home, 1. Back to first. 2 double play. They turn it 1-2-3. They're still playing in the 12th inning. So we have one team lose, we have one team tie. We're going to show you the team that won. And of course, it was the Bruins in Montreal. But just digest these scores as they go along here. Seattle and in the National League, Florida 2-1, Montreal 3-1, Cincinnati 7-2 over Philly, and the St. Louis and Houston and Colorado with the wins tonight. So bring on the Devils. Regular season ends for the Bruins tonight with a 4-2 win at the Forum in Montreal. It's on to the golf course for Montreal for the first time in 25 years. Bruins first on the board. Bork to Hines, 1-0. Woof. By a walk. 1-1 after 1. The Canadians are playing for nothing but pride, and they take the lead in the goal by Bure. But Ted Donato will do some great digging in the corner and take it in himself to even things up at 2-all. And then, of course, the familiar connection will give the Bruins the lead. Neely and Oates.
Sweeney keeps it in. He takes a shot. It hit a body and went wide. Neely out front. Oates scores! Adam Oates gives the Bruins a 3-2 lead.
The Devils are next. We just don't know if it's Saturday or Sunday just yet. Scoreboard, there's really one game that's important in the scoreboard. The other stuff is just filler, I tell you. Jaromir Jagr won the scoring title. First European ever to do so. That's a dangerous trend. Just kidding. And L.A. lost. That means they're out of the playoffs and San Jose is in. And we're not kidding. So there.
Okay, Robert.
Okay.
We thank you.
All right, Robert, coming up next on News 4, how about French Kiss?
It is a new movie from Meg Ryan and Kevin Kline. Joyce's preview is next.
All too often, the media confront you with scenes of children dying senselessly from malnutrition, from simple childhood diseases, from neglect born of poverty. 35,000 die every day. You're told it overwhelms you, but it's not quite real. Now picture yourself coming home one night to find a child like Senente Legiroto on your doorstep. One of those hungry, nameless children you never expected to meet. What do? You feed her, give her clean clothes. You put your arms around her and hold her tight. If every person like you sponsored one child like Senente, then Christian Children's Fund could accomplish its task, eliminating hunger and disease from the reasons innocent children die.
Please call this number and sponsor a child like Maria. Maria might be a statistic now if it weren't for Angela Toth, a homemaker from Michigan.
Before Angela sponsored Maria through Christian Children's Fund, the situation was very bad. Maria and her mother were alone and frightened. Maria's father had been kidnapped, and with no source of income, it's pretty tough to get along in this part of the country. But Maria will, thanks to Angela. Now they share pictures, letters, their joys, sadness.
Please call this number and sponsor a child like Keepsong.
Keepsong was abandoned. It came to us in a terrible state. But thanks to Roberta Wells, who works for a computer software company, Keepsong is back, laughing, playing, just being a little boy. Your $21 a month through CCF gives one child good food, life-saving medicine, and the education to extend his good fortune to the next generation. Call this number and we'll send you a photo and story of one child you can sponsor. One child you can save. Children like Senente are real. Please, take one of them into your heart.
It's a comedy and takes place in one of the most beautiful cities in the world.
It is called French Kiss, and Joyce has a little behind-the-scenes look at a new film.
Yeah, the question is, will this be another Sleepless in Seattle, another When Harry Met Sally? Those two hit films did star Meg Ryan, and she tries it again. Another romantic comedy called French Kiss, this time opposite Kevin Kline.
I just hope people laugh.
And that's what they did at the Hollywood premiere of the romantic comedy French Kiss with Meg Ryan, Kevin Kline, and Timothy Hutton.
I'm going to get him back, and I'm going to make him love me, and we are going to live happily ever after.
That's exactly what Meg Ryan tries to do in the film. Ryan plays Kate, a woman jilted by her fiancé, played by Timothy Hutton, who dumps her for a young, sexy French woman. So Kate flies to Paris to get him back, and along the way meets Luc, a charming but dubious Frenchman played by Kevin Kline.
Does mother ever teach you about staring?
What do you think? The plane is going to crash and we are all on the ground in 1,000 pieces dead? I promise you, if it happens, you won't feel a thing.
That's my whole favorite scene in the whole movie. Is when Luke and Kate first meet. It just kills me. He has her number right away.
Beautiful. Gorgeous. Wish you were here.
The cast and crew filmed for more than 3 months in the City of Light, indulging in French food and wine. And Kevin Kline says he had an amazing time trying to act French. He says he developed his character by studying the French crew he worked with.
They taught me many things, and they carry themselves differently. They use their faces differently. Their gestures are different. I mean, the cliches are all true. The cigarette dangling out of the mouth, and the wine, and they don't bathe, and they don't shave, and...
You would declare a pack of chewing gum.
We had a lot of fun. A lot of laughter on the set.
Oh, I love that accent. The film opens on Friday. Now, tonight's finalists in our Let 'Em Into London contest. The 8th caller tonight, B.B. Karelitz from Peabody, who qualifies for the trip to see Dave live in London. Tonight's question, what was Dave's first job? The answer, of course, a TV weatherman. There it is.